there we go. 46% complete, 44% complete. Is Corden on the case? She is. Look at it's Garnestina is here. The nemesis of Corden, Garnestina, the 17-year-old builder, female builder. These two are in tight competition with each other. They're kind of like Jedis. They went to school together to learn how to build, and they were both so utterly fantastic at building that they passed and they got their degree with full honors, and now are in direct competition with each other at all times, trying to outdo each other, trying to put the finishing touches on the house, and outdoing each other at every turn. It's a bit of a travesty, and actually most of the people of Sipsburgh don't really give much of a crap either. You know, they use all this extra flair and stuff, sort of like on that movie Kingpin, like, you know, the bowling, and like all of those bowling legends came on, and they all had their own little tricks and like costumes and stuff like that. Corden and Garnentina, or whatever her name is, are the same, but nobody actually cares. They just parade around Sipsburgh, you know, with all this flair and gusto, and they're like, I will make the greatest house today, and then of course they do, but it's never appreciated because most of the people of Sipsburgh just want those two to shut up and make a house so they can live in them, cook some potatoes and have a fire when it gets cold. I mean, that's not much of a problem at the moment. It's 18 degrees outside, it's sunny, everybody is outside enjoying the fresh, warm air. We still have 2 people without a house, which means that we're short by 1 house. We're going to have to build another house, unfortunately. That's okay. We'll try to space it out and add it to like this little avenue. Actually, let's put it down here, closer to this part here. And look, it's the right one to get it in here and cut down some of these trees and gather these mushrooms or whatever. I don't know if people eat the mushrooms or not. I have no idea. We'll have to see. If we start running out of stone, we can just gather the stone. If we start running out of logs, we can start gathering trees. You can just do that by going in here. This removal and destruction stuff. See, harvest trees, collect stone. But like I was saying, we can just get a quarry and a mine and a forester's lodge or whatever it's called. It's like a forester's lodge. You can get a forester's lodge and they can plant trees and cut down trees and stuff. Be pretty good. Alright, we'll leave them to it. We'll leave them to building that last house. We'll house the last 2 people of Sipsburgh. This potato field is doing pretty well. Look at that. Look at all the potatoes. We're currently riding at 50% yield, which is very good. And this squash field is at 46% yield, which is nice. It's early summer, so we should be able to get to 100% before the winter, no problem. And give ourselves a massive surplus of food. That would be good. We're going to need a woodcutter because we're running low on firewood. In actual fact, we're out of firewood, if you can believe that. So we're going to need to go into, I think it's resource production? Is it resource production? Could be. There it is, woodcutter. Use the chopped logs into firewood, which are then used to heat homes in the winter. We're going to need to get on that. We need to stockpile a lot of this stuff so that we can actually heat homes during the winter. It's going to be crucial. Let's place the woodcutters here. I think that'll be fine. We're going to place the woodcutters here. And once they're done building this house, we can get Corden and Geronimo, or I can't even remember the other one's name already. It's too outlandish for me to remember. To come over here and start building this woodcutter. Jesus Christ. And in the meantime, everyone else can just finish up doing their chores and stuff. Once the woodcutter is set up, we're going to have to assign somebody to become the woodcutter, the official firewood provider for the 2014 Sipsburgh Village Initiative. It's kind of like the Olympics, but not really. Did you see what I did there? No? Okay. So yeah, I mean, that'll be done in no time. Looks 4% complete already. Before you know it, look, 15%. It's because Corden just looks at stuff and it just erects itself. And I mean houses, because she's a builder, not for any other reason. Jesus Christ. Maybe we can get some of these idle villagers to collect rocks. I think that would be a good idea. You want to collect some stones? There's 4 people out here that could potentially collect some stones. Let's clear all the stones out of this area. Stockpile them, and then we can put them to better use than just looking like, well, it looks like whoever lives in here is probably quite lucky. Oh, look, it's Corden, who's now 18 years old. Holy shit, Corden's had a birthday. And we didn't even know about it. Well, maybe we can just collect all these rocks for her and make like some sort of statue for her in the center of the village, which it's like here, I guess? Oh, shit. We're going to need to make a well. That's the sure sign of a village center is a well, especially in medieval times. Here we go. Look at this. Look, the woodcutter is well underway. Look, these are those things they use, big like tree stumps to chop the wood on, like as a base to chop the wood on. Have you ever seen that before? If you've never seen that before, now's your chance. Look, there's 3 here, and that's what whoever the woodcutter of the village is going to use day in, day out to make firewood for the rest of the villagers. It's going to be fucking great. Of course, once this thing is up and running, this guy or girl who works here is going to be using the supply of logs to create firewood. But resource production is kind of cool in this game because you can set limits. Yeah, so, you know, you might not want to have a stockpile of like 1,000,000 firewood. So you just set a limit for it. You just say, stop producing it after you've made 250 firewood. And then once they get to that point, they stop producing it. They'll just wait until somebody, you know, takes some from the stockpile or something. And then there's only like 200 firewood left. And then they'll make 50 more. And they'll always keep it at a level with that limit, which is very good, actually. It just means that you have a tighter control over your resources. And things don't go all out of control and people start starving and freezing and stuff like that. Because that would be the worst. That would be the goddamn worst. Look, already somebody in here is freezing. These people, Zekardi and Mylene, the laborers. Mylene is a 14-year-old laborer somehow, is freezing. Is actually freezing because I don't think there's any firewood in this house. But there's 88 potatoes. They should just start burning the potatoes. Just start burning those potatoes and be fine. Of course, they have no firewood to start burning the potatoes with. But maybe they could borrow some from here. Look, these guys have tons. They could just go next door. Like, did you ever do that when you were young? Did your mom ever send you to the neighbor's house to borrow, like, some milk or some sugar or anything like that? It's the same thing in Sipsburgh. Everybody loves each other here. They love each other so much that they'll just lend each other firewood and stuff. It'll be fine. We really need to get this completed so that we can start making some more firewood so that people don't start to freeze to death. It could be a very short-lived playthrough of Banished. It's not a full playthrough, technically, but Sipsburgh may be in the midst of getting flushed down the shitter already at this early stage in the game due to running out of firewood. It's a bit of a shame, actually. I think this will be done in a minute, though. Who's that? Oh, here we go. That's exactly who we needed. Cordan, the female building sensation, is on the case, finishing up the woodcutter. There we go. We have nobody working at the woodcutter. Let's assign somebody. There we go. Who's it? Who's working here? Who's it going to be? We're going to have to check. I must know. I really do need to know. Woodcutter, who are you? It's Mylene. Oh, look. Mylene will be able to warm herself up through hard labor as a woodcutter. Look at that. Look at her go. Holy shit. I mean, she's only 14 years old, and already she chops wood faster than most of the men in Sipsburgh. We seem to have a village that is just dominated by women personalities, which is not a problem at all, actually. But it's just weird how it's turned out. Look at this. Somebody's here collecting the firewood. We got a lot of firewood. Let's look at these limits, like I was talking about. We have a fuel limit of 200 currently. So, see what I'm saying? Controls the amount of stored fuel. Once this limit is reached, production will cease. That's fine. Let's up that. Let's say we want 400. We want to ride high at 400 fuel in reserve at all times. Because we don't want anyone freezing. Look. This house is already without fuel. They'll probably get some in a minute because there's some slowly making its way to the stockpile now. Looks like there's 12, and soon to be more. Look, there's 20 because good old Atty managed to drop some off, which is very good. Thank you, Addy. Thank you for doing that. Who's this? Oh, it's Mylene. Mylene is still 14. And here's Giselda. Giselda, the 20-year-old something builder. She's a builder. Look at that. Giselda's idling. There are no building tasks to undertake. Okay, fine. How are we doing here? 92% yield on the potatoes. Great. And 81% yield on the squash. Fantastic. It's still the summer. We're at the height of the summer. It's going to be great. Look at that. We still have 193 food in the barn. soon to be like 1 million, because once these are at 100% yield and harvested, holy crap, watch out. It's going to be potato and squash time. Everybody's going to go crazy. They're going to make all these elaborate stews and stuff. It's going to be good. Everybody is housed. Sipsburgh is doing well. We have a steady supply of fuel coming in to keep people warm in their houses. It looks like we're okay for food and stuff. Next thing then, I think we probably want to set up a gatherer's hut. Roots and berries. Do we want to gather roots and berries? I think we probably do, you know, because I think what we'll want to do eventually is make a herbalist so that we can, look at this, use to gather herbs and provide simple health and healing for citizens. I think we definitely need a herbalist. Look at this. What a nice little building. Look. It's like a nice garden for like all of her like lotions and potions and stuff. I'm assuming it's going to be a her because every other jobby in this town so far is female, but you never know. Let's give the herbalist a fantastic view of the babbling brook. Look at that, 30 logs and 12 stone, no problem. We're gonna do it. We're gonna set up this herbalist. I'm gonna knock down these trees that are in the way, and then we're gonna be able to do or provide some simple healing to the people of Sipsburgh. You'll probably notice here, look at this, the average health of citizens has dropped somewhat, and that's because you know, people are probably getting gangrene and like, they're probably getting rickets and like the clap and stuff because there's no modern medicine out here. And of course, without any lotions or potions, that shit gets out of control, and you can't control it. And then all of a sudden, you just have a village filled to the brim with people walking around bow-legged with the clap, suffering heavily under the duress and just unable to do stuff. And we don't want to be in a situation where all of our citizens have rickets and the clap and aren't able to build buildings or chop down trees or gather rocks or admire the babbling brook or the raging river. I mean, I was going to name these two, but actually just calling this the babbling brook and this the raging river, that works for me. I'm sure that that's what they used to do back in medieval times. I mean, it's only now in modern days that you give everything like this iconic name, like the Hudson River or like Brian's Graveyard or and shit like that. But I'm fine with just the babbling brook and the raging river and Sipsburgh here. This is going to be fantastic. Man, I cannot wait to see. I've never actually built a herbalist before. Looking forward to seeing what it looks like when it's complete. Looking forward to seeing who gets the job of cheap lotion and potion crafting in Sipsburgh. And, of course, who is going to apply all these sensual massages to the people with rickets and give them the crazy, I don't know, Edelflower brew required to cure the clap. Hey, look at this. Late summer 1, a child named Ramonte was born, and a child named Paul was born. And it looks like Slimer has become an adult and is working as a laborer. It's not actually Slimer, it's Simer. But when I glanced at it very quickly, it looked like it said Slimer. And actually, the thought of Slimer from the Ghostbusters just, you know, sort of hovering around Sipsburgh and eating hot dogs and shitting on people, to me, is quite comical. So I will stick with that. Slimer is now an adult and has now added him or herself to the labor pool. An interesting thought, actually. Is Slimer a boy or a girl? I bet you never thought of that. There's no way of telling. Does Slimer have a penis? I've never seen it. So I can only assume that Slimer is a girl. And I'm just going off science. I'm using science to determine that. And of course, we all know that, you know, science is the way, I guess. Science is the way to determine stuff. So Slimer, in my mind, is definitely a female. Because I can't see Slimer's penis. That's why. Okay, well, enough about Slimer's penis. Let's see how the herbalist is doing. 51% complete. Great. 52%. My God. It's just crazy. It's crazy the amount of progress that we've made in such a short time. I can't believe it. Look at Sipsburgh. It's just looking fantastic already. And while I say that, isn't this a fantastic game? Do you like this game? I fucking love this game. I was really excited for it. I had mixed feelings when it came out because I thought, it's an indie game. It could really be hit and miss. It might be a bit shit, but it might be awesome. But man, this has really surprised me because I personally think that this is awesome. I love games like this. I love the pace. I love that everything is relatively easy to figure out how to do. There's not like some steep learning curve or whatever. And I just like I said, the pace. I like to just sit here and admire the things that I've built and plan for the future, get all these people motivated to do better stuff with their lives other than idling around, gossiping by the well that's soon to be built in the town square. Thanks for watching part 2 of Banished. Stay tuned for part 3. We continue to build up Sipsburgh and turn it into a nice little hamlet. As usual, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon!